having a meeting and being there, yeah, Bill Gates is a piece of shit, but he could be out there for, Microsoft owns a significant portion of contracts with the United States federal fucking government. So it would make sense that we'd have Bill Gates coming out there to try to, every president is hobnob with him.
Microsoft's standing is not really in danger with the federal government, but Bill Gates is absolutely over there lobbying to keep that list in check because, first of all, MSNBC stands for Microsoft. Microsoft is a part of MSNBC. They change their name, they'll spin it around or whichever way. My point is, Bill Gates has been actively lobbying. They've had 3-hour meetings twice. The last one happened last week. This is to show. This is my opinion that Bill Gates is actively lobbying to keep the list in check, and that Trump's hook in there is the fact that he might be implicated because Bill Gates is not just a powerful man; he also has a news station, and he also has a kind of pull to where he can spin this around to where Trump is. If he tries to release the list, he's gonna go down with it. We all know he's in there. We all know all the Dems are in there. But I think they know that Trump they're gonna pull Trump down with him. And I don't really understand why someone like Bill Gates would have 3-hour meetings. You saw when Trump went on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's episode with Trump, that was one of the longest episodes that they've had there. To think that they have 2 of those meetings with Bill Gates, not sure what all you're talking about with a guy like that, but I'm sure Epstein is very much generally on the topic, and releasing the list is not something they're going to do, but let's just be clear. I think Trump is in there. I think that's their hook.
You think Bill Gates went to the president and said, you think he was begging Trump to not release the files? Possibly. I know a lot of people on Wall Street that are begging for that. We hear them all the time. There's even been Democrats, this is the stupid part. Democrats in the House are saying, oh, let's release this. No. You guys are actually plotting to not release it because you're going to fucking judges through your PAC committees and Democrat chills to try to block the release of it. So I'm confused. With the Democrats, they really don't want it released because they know that it's going to excoriate them. They know that they have players in it. You're going to have Soros in there? Let's not kid ourselves up. You've got Soros, and there is a lot of people that want to suck. They wanted access to that money. You've got, let me see. Kamala Harris, I believe, part of that inner ring. She's got some acquaintances in there because she was asking for money. California, you got Newsom. Nancy Pelosi. Let's not leave the queen of the big tits alone. Let's actually put her on display and say Nancy Pelosi is involved in Epstein as well, because you know damn well that woman is all a money whore. She went around and gathered money. She could whip her votes, but she could also collect money, and she was a good fundraiser. And she was his biggest fucking draw. She went there and begged. She did everything. I'm willing to bet you there's probably a video of Nancy Pelosi going to town on Epstein. I'm sure Maxwell has that somewhere in the office. It's the only reason she's probably alive is she's just I have tapes. I have proof of all of you guys. Don't fucking eliminate me. Otherwise, I release this shit.
Can't they seize it from her? Can't they take it from her and kind of force her?
I invited up the Simpson characters. I don't know who these guys are. So
Brad, you do know me.
Oh, well, okay. Simpsons characters. Why are you guys Simpsons? Just go by your name.
Are you kidding?
I do it. I'll just say I've done it. So far, people have gone on this app and said horrific things about my daughters. You've got an Agent P who likes to go around on the app and say, "Oh, I was evicted from my home," which that never happened. Number 2 says that I murdered my wife. That never happened. So I still stay with my whole name and my whole chest. So I look at people like Agent P and I just go, yeah, single cell amoebas that are troglodytes on the app. They'll never do anything. They'll never achieve anything, and they'll never be listened to. I just look at their accomplishments and say, okay, you got the Aaron Burgers. He likes to do the same shit. He's another piece of shit. He goes around by dark now, and he's trying to pretend he's an angel. But for the longest time, he was Jew, and he was, oh my God, anti-Israel. He was in every room trying to get clip every conservative for being or anti-Semitic, including this room. He was known to do that to conservatives in this room, and he thought he would have a fun day until he got clipped, until he got exposed, until he got caught lying with his whole fucking chest. And then it turns out he's like fraudulent, working for fake climate change fucking bullshit. So there you go. And then he brags about how, he sat in front of a dais and was like, I'm changing the world. And in reality, he was just scamming from the federal government, your tax dollars.
Okay.
So there you go.
But Brad, let's stipulate that people that use their real names are braver and stronger and more noble than people that are anonymous.
No, I don't say that. I just think that you should go through this world and stand with your name on it and be proud of who you are. You'll make mistakes. You'll fall. You'll have all families, all names rise and fall in this world. It's up to you to end it on a high note, and all of your mistakes are just badges of honor to carry with you. You don't learn from your victories as much as you do your defeats and your failings in life. And I'll never hold anybody back for failing. I'll never condemn you for that. But I will sit there and slap that hypocrisy label on you, and I will smack you like the little broke bitch boy you are if you try to come up and go to somebody or myself and say how great you are in comparison, and then all of a sudden turn around and find out you're one of the fucking pieces of scum that we really don't try to be. We don't really want to emulate, but you turn out to be one of those freaking pieces of scum that I hate.
Okay, I agree, but I've been on Clubhouse since the very beginning, and I've always used different cartoon characters. I've rotated through 50 cartoon characters, and I've always said from the beginning, people who use their real name are brave, and what proves that they're brave is there have already been 3 murders of people who use their real name. So people who use their real name are choosing to risk their lives for the right thing, and I admire that. But I'm not going to.
That's fine. But anyway, what was your point? Let's get back to the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
And who's Bart? Why does Bart have Will C upset? I know who Will C is, but
Okay,
Bart, why do you have Will C upset?
I don't. First of all, Bart is let me explain how I access Clubhouse, Brad. I'm going to try to be very brief. I have a Verizon iPad and a T-Mobile iPad, and the reception on one gets bad. So that's why I always have 2 cartoon characters in each room. One is Verizon, one's T-Mobile. But I want to address the Epstein stuff. I think that, first of all, there are certainly a lot of pedophiles in both political parties, a lot of rich pedophiles in both parties. However, I think a neutral, honest, ethical person would say that of the people on the Epstein list, most of them didn't do anything wrong. Most of them just wanted Epstein to donate money to their pet causes. That's why the head of Harvard and the head of MIT was kissing Epstein's ass, not for pedophilia, but because they wanted his money. Now, we as a society have to figure out how do we deal with a list where we know, let's say 5 or 10% of the people are pedophiles, and we know 90% are innocent. And I don't know how to deal with that as a society, but that's what a grown-up conversation would be. I think a conversation that says every single person on the list is a scumbag who should be humiliated, I don't think that's a reasonable conversation, and I say that with respect.
I would agree with you if we were in a normal political environment, but it seems like it's solely focused. Like, I'm well aware that Trump was on the airplane, well aware that Epstein has recorded and impugned and stated that, hey, let's stop at whatever his golf course is in New Jersey, and flew up there and went to go see Trump on a golf course. I'm aware that Trump didn't necessarily like Epstein. They ran in similar circles, but didn't really necessarily like each other. There was some disagreement or some disgruntlement where Trump threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. That's been pretty prominent, and Trump hasn't really discussed on it. I'm aware that Trump is the only one to sit down for a deposition. That's striking to me. That one is eye-opening and revealing if he's the only one to do so. He's also the only one named in depositions as not partaking in the events. So far on the ones accumulated and on the list and in the Maxwell trial itself, he wasn't listed. So I'm confused as to why everybody seems to zero in on Trump and the Epstein. Like, he made the promise casually. He didn't really make a promise. He casually inferred to it. But even if he doesn't release the Epstein list,
Brad, let me try to answer you very briefly, okay? I don't think that any of the Epstein mud is going to stick to Trump, and I think it's for a reason that you've never brought up. To the best of my knowledge, you've never brought this up. The reason, and you're welcome to criticize me, but don't interrupt me, okay? The Democratic Party has a 20-year track record of inventing fake rape charges against Republicans, right? It's a very, very popular technique. The Democratic Party will find a Republican they don't like, they'll invent a rape charge. Obviously, they accused Trump of raping a woman in a dressing room, but more importantly, and it's easy for you to prove everything I'm saying, the Democratic Party decided to falsely accuse the Duke lacrosse players of rape. The Democratic district attorney knew they were innocent. He had ample evidence they were innocent, but he said, look, I'll get donations from rich Democrats if I prosecute these innocent people. So it has been absolutely proven that he knowingly prosecuted innocent little boys because they were Republicans and because it put money in his pocket. And then the final thing I'll say is you could Google a case called the Tawana Brawley case. In New York, the Democrats invented a false rape charge against some Republicans, and they were ready to put these Republicans in prison for life on obviously false rape charges. And you could go on and on and on. It's very easy for you to confirm. So I'm trying to be politically neutral. I know of zero examples of the Republican Party deciding to frame Democrats who are innocent of rape, but I know there's so many examples. So I think as Trump makes those cases well known, I just think none of this mud will stick to him, but I'm eager to hear people criticize.
Hey, Augustus, how's it been? I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
How you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. Just jump back on Clubhouse to see what's popping, and hear the hot takes from some of the smartest minds. So then I came in here. No, I'm joking. So cool. Nice to be.
Good to have you back. We've had a lot of old school, like Clubhouse season 1ers and 2ers come back, and it's been interesting to see them come back onto the app. It's fall, it's midterm time. People are probably trying to figure out what's really going on in the rooms. I heard on your side of the pond, it's getting pretty dicey and exciting over there.
Dude, oh my God, like what the actual fuck, bro, like it's just insane. You know, I actually left the United Kingdom. I've been living in Cape Verde. I've been living out in Africa for the past, I think it's about 12 months now, and I'm in Cape Verde at the moment. I'm probably going to have a jet to holiday to Asia, something like that, right? Because I just can't be bothered right now with what's going on. Like, I just no, I've had enough. The United Kingdom is a third world country. England is a third world country. If you say it's fallen to shit, basically. Sorry if I'm swearing, people. It's fallen to this. The nation itself is just deteriorating just rapidly. And I understand why the native British people are upset. Like, it's not rocket science. But again, Keir Starmer is a joke of a prime minister. And I think either reform or even the socialists might have some bearing in the next election. So I don't know. It's interesting, like you say. It's quite.
Red, is it possible you would vote for Nigel Farage?
I would vote for Nigel Farage. I would vote for him. It's actually possible I would vote for. I'm a conservative, right? But I would actually vote for somebody like what's his name now? The socialist, white guy, Jeremy Corbyn. Do you know what I mean? Just as a fuck you to that. I mean, I know you're probably going to hate me for that. It is what it is. But, I mean, his policies do seem to be a lot more in line with actually helping the British people as opposed to just the corporate establishment or whoever, right? So, you know, and reform speaks for itself. I mean, reform are kind of like a British, they're like MAGA light. Do you know what I mean? It's like mega light, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I would vote for either or at this point because Keir Starmer, who we knew was and is one of these pedos, or at least associated with the whole pedo ring that happens, that has been around since the dawn of time, if you would. Mainly speaking about what's his name? Jim will fix it. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Do you know what I'm talking about? The guy who's close to the crown. Right. And his association with that whole thing. It's just giving the whole. I can go on. I can speak at length for some time. So I'm going to cut it here. All I'm saying is, look, the country's gone to shit. I would vote for the Reform Party because I think that they have the right idea. Back your nation, if anything. And I say that because that's how I would vote if I was, as a Nigerian man, if I was back in Nigeria, the country that was the party that wants to back its country, I'm going to vote for those people, especially when, you know, there's a shit ton of party. Anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah, you know I'm going with that. I'm trying to temper myself. That sounded racist, but yeah, it is.
Well, sorry you guys are going through that. You know, we kind of have we're in the middle of ours, so you're at the beginning of yours, and we'll see how it goes. It looks like a lot of European nations are starting to go that way. Canada is in the midst; they're about to kick theirs off, so we'll see how that goes. Mexico is starting to realize that. So the U.S. is having a broader influence, and as more European countries start to get on board, it's going to start to spread a little bit more to a lot of other places that don't already have the similar kind of views that people are wanting, and that's their pride.
But this is the thing, though, Brad. Right? I think nationalism has been around to kind of resurface itself as a not as a tool to be weaponized by the left, as they like to kind of position people as racists. We're seeing the same kind of philosophy happening right now in Africa, right? So a lot of the European nations, I listen to some of the conservative speakers, and one of them a few years back, I forget his name now, he was saying that there's a kind of a resurgence of conservatism, of conservative values, of nationalism, of national pride in this nation, kind of sweeping through Europe. And I could see that, like, for crying out loud, we just seen seven conservative politicians, they say, murdered, have been found dead in Germany. They're all right wing. Like, what are we doing? We saw what was taking place in France again with the arrest of some of the. I think earlier on this year, maybe I'm getting it confused with another country. What I'm trying to say is there is this kind of
right now to go back to war against Israel. They've been talking about it for days. Ooh. Iran and Israel, they're about to go back out, and in Syria right now, they're about to go fight again.
Come on, Iran have already, played out its hand.
Oh, stop it. Stop living in a fantasy world, man. They got more ballistic missiles to give Israel, Tel Aviv, for.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody for a second, guys. So, AR's coming back up, but he was saying what I was trying to say is that I don't like Israel, but I'm originally from Lebanon. I live in America because my grandfather was killed by the PLO when they were in Lebanon. You got the mic, AR. Everybody be patient. He has been patient enough to speak. Please don't interrupt him. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm torn because I am an Arab nationalist, as I was raised to be, but don't.
Prison time in another leaked call. I think that's it for the celebrity hood talk.
Gucci, I mean, Young Thug's been doing the most.
Oh, I see mom's boyfriend fatally shoots 16-year-old who was returning home through a back door after mistaking him for a burglar.
Oh, fuck.
Bet he won't sneak out no more. Also, another video. Not a single woman was sitting at the White House meeting on women's health. All men. Sitting at a fucking table. All white fucking men. Sitting at a fucking table speaking on women's health. Interesting.
No, man. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to defend that, right?
What?
I'm sure there's a way to defend it, right? Isn't there a MAGA explanation for that somewhere?
Oh, we ran the magas off. You missed it. I pinged you in so you could see just dragging somebody, but you came too late.
I just asked him a question.
What was the question?
If he was good.
Or was it Jamal? Was it Jamal?
He didn't answer. It was E. Liddy.
Bruce Willis, I guess, reacts to the trolls telling her why she no longer lives with Bruce Willis. And, you know, she moved to another home nearby with her kids during this, his dementia and stuff.
Hey, quick question for you, Mel, because you're on top of it, but anybody else as well. Did anybody see the high school catfish thing on Netflix?
Yeah, and it has without National Guard support, and it's not going well. So two cities started two similar programs. One succeeding because the National Guard helped. The other one in Philadelphia is not doing so fucking great. Now, granted, Philadelphia is a little bit bigger, but it's still not going great. And we're having issues there with kids going to school. Trump saying he's going to hit Chicago, possibly Memphis, and others. These are things I wanted to talk about because I think it is a concern. I do have concerns about National Guard being used and the way the left is trying to portray this. They're not coming in being authoritarian. They're not arresting people. They're not rounding up. They're just a show of force. And they're there as an assist in case of massive explosion of violence. So such as, gunfights or a criminal that's tackling and destroying 2 or 3 cops. They're there to lend assistance as need be and to provide I don't want to say passionate crimes or acts, I forget the term for it, but just like non-premeditated crimes, like fist fighting or something along those lines, trying to push people, hurt people, drug dealers from, again, going after children. These are things that we can kind of block with the National Guard who's watching right there. It's eyes on them. And you're not going to fuck with a guy. And they're not walking around with AR-15s or any military scary assault weapons. They have a 9mm, and that's the extent of it. And maybe some mace, I think, and a couple of zip ties. Literally nothing more than what a police officer would carry. And I think these were good things. But today's news, we have the Epstein, and I'm going to post the article at the top. It appears the Epstein group, or at least some of the victims, are going to come together and release their own list. And I want to know what people's opinions are about this. I want to know why Democrats are really trying to toe a line on this and try to play it very finessing when overwhelmingly their biggest leaders, their biggest donors, their biggest prominent names in their party are going to be on this list. Like, let's not forget that Trump was a Democrat. He was a Democrat donor. This is literally the list, if there is one. This Epstein list is going to be a Democrat donor list. It's going to be something Nancy Pelosi walked around with, like going, who can I get money from in the midterms? That's how I see it. But I'm willing to take on any arguments. Remember, this is the political compass. I am conservative. I am biased. So we are the owners of these houses. We make no qualms about it, but all opinions will be allowed to be up here. If you say some bullshit in the chat, I will smack you, or one of the other mods will smack you when they come in here, one of the administrators. Just know that I don't tolerate any anti-Semitism. I don't care what race you are, and I don't care who you call Sky Daddy. I don't care about if you're Muslim. If you're there, you don't want to hear my position on Israel and Palestine, because mine is completely different from everybody else's, and you won't like the outcome. And I don't care what country you're from. All I care about is the idea of this. So let's get this Epstein thing on the board. Since conservatives are consistently having to defend themselves over this, let's have this out. Should Trump release it? What do you think's on there? What do you think is really the holdup from just releasing the treasure trove of information? Did you get a chance to preview the 30,000 pages of documents that were just released? Are you excited, happy about it? So go ahead, Pepe, Alyssa, Joe, Red, go ahead.
Well, all I know is that it's so much more than they thought, that they have to go through many more.
I say push ups is the same thing.
Anybody in the audience want to come up? You guys welcome to come. Hey, what's up, Rodney? How you doing there, bro?
Hello, Ahmed. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you? We were talking about BBC, how trustworthy the news agency is.
Oh, not at all. Coming from a British person, yes, not at all.
I find it, little bit, right? You could say they're pro-Pally like 25% of the time.
It's very seasonal, in my opinion.
Well, are you
They look at where...
There's like Zionist support. The people will be throwing blood on the BBC in London. They support it. I mean, it's a government-funded news organization.
If it's government funded, why the bias though?
Who runs
But
the
there are
world?
other stakeholders.
Yeah, but don't they leave?
Jesus. Are you
That's
into like
like
sympathizers, Moog? Is that what your name is, Moog or Moog? You're like,
What's wrong with being a homosexual?
it's gay from it.
It ain't nothing wrong.
Oh, they didn't have to have October 7th happen for that to happen.
No, they couldn't. They needed a reason. That's why BB set this whole thing up.
They had reasons before October 7th.
No, they didn't.
Obviously,
No, they
don't know. Yeah, they did.
No,
they
they
shot
didn't.
over 9,000 rockets into Israel in May 2021.
So
Did you
what?
forget
That's
about
not,
that?
yeah, so what? And they
That's
killed
not a
no
reason.
one.
That's not a
Yes,
reason.
no one died.
Yes, people did die.
No, they did not, you fucking
Yes,
liar.
people died.
Go look at the casualties throughout
Oh my
the years
God,
of
bro.
Hamas's missiles going into Israel. Guess what? Almost 95% of them get shot down by the fucking Iron Dome, you fucking liar.
So this is one of the largest.
Everyone knows that. Most Israelis get hurt because of the scrap metal. He's a fucking liar.
And where does the scrap metal come from? It comes from the fucking rocket, you idiot.
Yeah, they got shot down by the Iron Dome.
Well, what do you want them to do? Let the rocket hit the fucking house?
That's not the point. The point is there
The point is they
no
shot a
mass.
rocket either
There
way.
has
That's
never
the
been
point.
mass casualties because
My
of
God,
Hamas's
you're
fucking
talking to a
missiles.
fucking retard.
You are a retard. Stop trying to equate that those missiles caused thousands of deaths for Israelis. It hasn't. You're a fucking idiot and a liar.
Resistance, how many have died due to the rockets the Hamas shot
can you
into
hear me?
Israel?
Probably less than 100. Probably. I'm gonna go do the research now.
Can you hear me?
Do it. Come back.
Hello.
And post it.
It doesn't matter if it was 100 or it's 1. It's still a fucking act of war. You don't shoot rockets into a sovereign nation. He doesn't understand that.
Yeah, I can't speak over people, but yeah, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. One of the biggest excuses I've ever heard, that it's okay because Israel has the Iron Dome to defend itself, that it shouldn't be able to retaliate against anybody else because they don't have an Iron Dome. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. Who says that Israeli couldn't respond? No one said they couldn't. You idiot.
Like you literally just said.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
So fine. Israel really should just blown Hamas out. Should just blown Gaza out of the water, just like pushed it into the ocean.
Much family left, but not because they tried to blame my family for the
fire against the United States of America, Donald Trump.
All right, let's enact the 25th Amendment, take away his fucking phone, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because that shit is This shit is the kind of shit that you're fucking drunk and stoned and you're tweeting from underneath your covers.
But there isn't a nation he didn't. Hold on, Alyssa. There's not a nation he didn't drone strike, and he drone struck an American without due process, waiving constitutional rights. So I have issues with Obama, like on his bullshit, but not saying he's gay or transsexual. That's just not me.
I think that's how Alyssa talks, just in her defense.
He knows who I am. He's just coming out on the other side, revealing who he really is. And he played a different part. He played a different character when he came on.
What different character? I'm the same guy. I call everybody a faggot till this day. Faggots, faggots, faggots.
You were pretty different when I met you 5 years ago. And
What
different
changed?
stance, political.
What changed? Why also focus
I
on
don't want to change the subject.
Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna stop this. Not on my stage. Guys, you go have the backroom chat. I don't know, Ludwig. Maybe you forgot to bring home the groceries. Alyssa, maybe you just, I don't know, forgot to remember his birthday or fishing trip. I don't fucking know. But whatever the love quarrel is, go have it in another room, come back, and you know.
I would rather slam my dick in between a door.
Yeah, well, to each their own. But I don't want to have this kind of like crap on here, and I get bored with that stuff really easy. But let's go back to this Epstein thing. Is this what everybody wants to talk about? Because no one really wants to come on stage and really kind of add teeth to it. No one wants to have that deep dive discussion. So is that a negative, or you can say you're concerned about pedophiles. You can say you're concerned about the kids. You can say a lot of things, but I'm just asking you to come up and offer your point of view, and I'll make sure everybody gets to hear it. Welcome, Duray.
Hey, Brad. How's everyone?
Good.
So this is just my wild supposition about how Trump did a 180 live in front of the press a few weeks ago about this issue, in the sense that he was promising it was going to be released, and so was his attorney general. And then when he was in front of the press, he tried to downplay it and redirect and all that. And then it became the big Democratic sticking point in the media for the next few weeks. And my wild supposition is this. They actually saw the meat of what was in there, and they realized that if this all truly saw the light of day in the fullest sense, that both parties are implicated, and it is such an existential threat to the existing order and all of the powers that be, that no Democrat or Republican would be ever elected again. And he was basically told that if you release this, our entire system will come down because they're all implicated. So I think he then had a choice. He could either do the misdirection and "are you still talking about that loser" kind of thing that Trump did in front of the press, or he could say, listen, it's a national security issue and we've made another decision not to release this information. The full meat of the list, and so I think he tried to do his little Trump shtick, and it sort of backfired at him for a couple weeks, but the public have short memories. The people will move on, and that's why I think they didn't release it.
All right, welcome, First Lady, and thanks, Troy. So I do have a question, though. Here's my view. And for all those that don't know, First Lady does run the political correctness room. I encourage you to go in there. I'm going to give this caveat. It is not always political or the discussions. Sometimes it's just mind-numbingly you're banging your head against the wall. But she does try to keep it on point. She's probably one of the best mods in there next to Patty. So these two ladies, when they're teamed up together and they have a point they want to attack, it's going to be on that point. Everybody else, I would just take with a grain of salt. But listen to what these two ladies say. As far as your view on this, I look at it in the market sense. We are aware that Epstein played around in the markets significantly, particularly Wall Street and particularly in foreign, like the Houston exchanges, the Japanese, the Asian markets. He was all over the place. We're aware that he miraculously somehow put together billions of dollars, but no one knows necessarily where all those funds came from, how those sources are. So he had to make it up in where would be Wall Street's. My feeling is on the Epstein list is something akin to what you're hitting on. I think what we would see, it would be a huge financial collapse. Like, I think what we'd honestly find is that there's more money out there, probably hidden in accounts in Cayman or the Bermuda account papers and things along those lines. We'd find more of those. I think releasing this is an iceberg like that sunk the Titanic. And I think a lot of these hedge funders and financiers are sweating the most. And that's who's backing, like the Clintons. They get Clinton went to the island. He enjoyed having sex with underage kids. We're aware of that. Trump, so far, there hasn't been any indication. He's visited the island. He's been on the plane. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not saying that they didn't happen. It may have. Dershowitz, he visited the island. He was a lawyer. So, yeah, maybe there's some connection there. That should be concerning. The Prince Andrew of fucking England. You know, we always knew about those, like, weak English princes. But, you know, that's concerning as well. So, but I'm more concerned about the finance markets and the epic collapse it could unfold. Could you imagine Bank of America, Chase, Capital One, like all of those markets would just like gone right away without the leadership because those guys have been flown around. Could you imagine that?
Brad, you know, 2 days before this filth, Epstein got suicided, like I like to say it. You know, it was like magically while he was locked up, like a trust was being put up, and to that trust, like 577 million was deposited. Right? How's it even fucking possible? Is that possible in the United States? While you're like locked up, you can put a trust up and deposit money. Not like $20 or something. $577 million.
Yeah, I think
that is just. I mean.
So I'll say this: like the Epsteins of the world, they don't circulate with people like me or you or where is she? Even the most elegant first lady. We're not those people. We're not even on their list. You could think you're all that in a bag of chips. First lady's very attractive. Joe B's attractive. She may think she's prominent. She's not. She's not Epstein level prominence. We don't run in those circles. That circle is really small, really tight, and it's really finessed. And there's usually two factions, a little bit on for the cameras and for the public, but generally it's all one circle underneath, and it's literally that 1% of the world. Trump, Epstein, they radiated around that. They ran in those fields. They're with them with the Buffetts and the Soros and the Bill Gates and et cetera. Give me the other ones. The princes from whatever Nigeria that only needs $500 million or whatever needs $500 to reach $500 million, and you'll get your gems and your stones. Like all of that shit. These guys don't operate around us. We're their market. We're their cash. They're looking at us as like, how do I get their money into my pocket? How do I do that? And they're looking at us that way. We're their cattle, so to speak. We fight their wars. We build their skyscrapers. We build their homes. We build the highways. We give them water. We fix their food. We clean their apartments or homes. We make their cars. We do all that. They don't. All they do is fund us with money, and we partake in that society, and then they try to figure out a way to get that money back. These guys don't fucking operate normally, and it's so small. I would expect, like in Epstein and Clinton's, they all run, and those politicians, those are all just parasites on them. These guys are all the shakers and movers in the world, to be fair. I'm not throwing in conspiracy out there. They just are. Go ahead.
I'm chomping at the bits to give two famous people quotes to illustrate your point that you just made. George Carlin, it's a small club and you ain't in it. And then Dave Chappelle to an audience, y'all just think you're white people, but you don't actually meet the real white people until you make $100 million.
Wait, is even in that circle 100 million a lot of money?
I mean, it was a joke.
I'm not
get
saying
the point.
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's too weird, man. Like if they can't release that list, right, it gotta be really fucked up. Right? Like even the house of Epstein, right? $80 million mansion, the most expensive house in at least in the upper north of New York, that he got for $1. You know, then you got our dear friend from JP Morgan that wired him, I believe it was 150 million. Like, what the fuck do you know that somebody's like, okay, here comes the money?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand.
That is some. It's got to be super fucking dark, man. Darker than hell, if you ask me. If somebody's like, yeah, I'm gonna send you this money, right? And we're not talking about $50 or $100. I think it was $150 million. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Jean-Marie Luc, was locked up in France, arrested, suicided in the same way as Epstein. I don't know anybody knew this, but it's got to be really messed up. That's where I'm at. But whatever the fuck that means for me.
I hear you on it, and I don't discount the facts. Like, I mean, there is some. I firmly believe Epstein was killed. I don't buy it. But I want to get First Lady in here because she's just sitting here quietly, acting all cute and stuff. First Lady, what do you think about this? Where do you think this is going to eventually end up?
Love Vic, don't laugh at him. He's crazy.
He can't afford his medication anymore.
I can't afford my medication. What are you talking about?
Fuck you, Brad.
No, you know, Brad, I really and truly, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, I was listening to some of the ladies today, and, you know, to hear they started when they were 14 and now they're this age. You know, I'm glad that they are getting the reprieve that they need. I'm just really afraid of what might come out. I don't know. I don't know. I just wish that maybe they could just pay the women. Like, did they ever get any payment from this, or like, is there a way to compensate them? I don't know. I don't. It's scary. It can go really bad. That's what I think. And you know me, I'm always trying to avoid conflict. So whatever leads us to peace is where I would like for us to be. I don't know that this is going to be that. I just wish they would never open this mess up. And what is the conversation about when they say Biden didn't do this and so on? I don't know, because I never really thought that it would ever come out, to be honest with you. So now that we're here and it's getting closer and closer and people keep pushing, I feel like they're just going to open up a can of worms that can't be closed.
I agree with you. I think the more people that push this narrative and push, you know, what you're not going to like this, and for the people on the left, and I know, lady, like primarily your room runs on the left, they should be very cautious about their Trump's the pedo, because it could come out. Trump may have like screwed an underage girl. Could have. He didn't do it in Epstein Island because he ain't been there. Like, at least that's so far. We learned that from the Maxwell files. We learned that later on, allegedly, or at least documented and under deposition and all these things. And Maxwell said under oath, in order to be transferred, and all of these things that she has in motion to be kept alive, she said that Trump's not partook in any of those events, and that wasn't at Epstein Island. So if Trump's not been there, and he's only been on the plane a couple of times, there's a possibility he could have done something. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But I'm saying there's a lot more likely when you have like Michael Jackson's name up in there, when you have Bill Clinton's name, and you have, you know, the Juanita Broderick story that still won't go away because she still didn't get satisfaction. That's coming out. So I'm saying that Democrats should really be kind of like stopping the ants, because that's going to affect a lot of their donor base. Like Schiff's name's up in there, that circle. Like he was brought up in there. A lot of Californians, in the Pelosi, she's going to be thrown in there. Probably her husband. That name's going to probably drop. I mean, these are players. Like that market's going to swirl around it, and that's going to be their lasting legacy. And the more you hope for it, which I'm all for it, let's see it, but I mean, you may not like the results. That rubber band has a way of springing back on you.
But you saying the Democrats, but the Republicans are the one that's pushing for it. Marjorie, she was right up front. Today, she was right at the press conference. She was smiling and everything. She had a cute little outfit on. So the Republicans are pushing just as hard as the Dems are pushing for this.
Yeah, MAGA's been pushing for this for a while because they believe it pretty much destroys the DNC, which I would say it is an agreement. Like even the photos with Trump and Epstein, you look at the dates, yeah, he's going to be around Epstein because, again, those were donor events, donor organizations, donor parties. You see a whole lot of people there that are donating money for the DNC. Those are fundraising dinners. So, yes, Trump's going to be in the vicinity of Epstein, and because those were donor lists. But what I'm saying is, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I really wish we could get rid of the AOCs and MGTs. Or MTGs, I don't know, whatever, butch bad built bodies they have. I wish we could just get past them and actually just prosecute who we need to. But Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to have a point. She's going to be clean in this. She can go out front, and she represents a good, significant portion of MAGA, and she's going to go to the two because they want it. They want it. That's who really wants it, not the whole Republican list, because they also know there's a lot of financiers that they have to go to for money. And that's going to hurt. That's going to really hurt.
Did you listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene last week on the Megyn Kelly show? It was either last week or the week before.
No, I'm sorry. You'll have to give it to us. I'll listen to it now if you have it, or if you would just want to recap it.
Well, she had her for the whole hour. It was just a one-on-one interview for the whole hour. So they went through a range of topics. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I've never heard her sound more with it and current and smart and, in a way that it goes against the popular perception of her. So it was a great interview.
Do you want to give us what did she say on it, like in relation to this point, or?
About the Epstein stuff, I don't remember specifically, but I would still recommend the episode.
Okay. Right. But I'm still wondering, because when I look now, even the list of the statements by the survivors today, with Marjorie Taylor Greene there, I'm looking and I'm like, I mean, you got Massey filing the discharge position, Ro Khanna wants the vote to compel the Justice Department to release all of them. But when you go to look at some of the antics by Democrat PAC committees, you see, First Lady Andreisov, you see some actions that I don't know. Why are you going to judges to try to block releases? I don't. You're saying you want this, but then there seems to be dueling fights within both parties. And apparently one lower tiered ranking side, I would say Marjorie Taylor Greene's and Massey's, who aren't normally at the leadership tables, they're fighting for something. And the upper tier is saying, shut the fuck up, sit down. You don't understand how much this will financially ruin or impact us directly, and how many people are actually going to be caught up in this. It's going to be the movers and shakers. It's going to be Hollywood, and it's going to be kings and queens of other countries and parliaments of other countries, that are going to be involved in this. And that's what I honestly think.
Yeah, that has to be part of it too. Just that they would have to spend a ton of political capital to release this and probably not receive any huge benefits to them. And it would probably upset many of our allies also.
But what I'm saying is, Marjorie Taylor, I'm trying to think, Trump could drop this on his last day in office, just automatically release this all the way out. I wonder if he's using, and I'm going to say this, Trump is really good at branding and marketing. He knows how to play these hit pieces. A lot of people have forgotten that when, you know, the Billy Bush tape dropped, people said that was the end of Trump. His popularity dropped, blah, blah, blah. Then the next thing you know, Trump comes out on stage with all of the victims, all the rape people, right in front of the Bill fucking Clinton. And basically slaps that in there. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at this and going, is Trump using this to gain leverage over the midterms and to use it as a political capital tool and trying to draw it out so that he can hurt certain Democrats? Or is he trying to draw it out to hurt for the 2028 election to make sure that who he picks is the successor and he drops that bombshell onto whoever? So someone like Newsom or somebody who may be involved could end up you know, in a lot of trouble. I don't know. What do the rest of you guys think? You're all in the audience, really quiet. Usually you guys come up on stages. What's going on today?
Is it my presence? It's me.
Nah,
That's wrong.
No, it's not you. It's just something's weird today. This topic alone, people don't want to touch.
I don't. I want to avoid it as much as possible. I think the more we talk about it, the more people get excited about it. You know, everybody was foaming at the mouth. All the Epstein shows coming out the mouth, coming out the mouth. I'm like, oh my God, whatever. So people just, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. Like I've heard people come to me, Trump's a pedo. Really? Where's that conviction case? Where's that proof? Where's that? Well, I don't have anything, but he won't release the files. There's lots of reasons why presidents don't release the files. Fuck. Obama didn't release a shit ton of files. We asked for the JFK files, and those never got released. That was starting. We asked for the Iran-Contra files. Those never got released. That happened under Clinton. So, I mean, we always have files that are never always released. We always ask for information. Presidents promise some things, partially deliver. Most of the time, don't deliver. And we're stuck holding the bag, and then we just move on to the next big shiny thing. I don't know. This one seems to be plaguing Trump a little bit, but I think it's also due to his own action. And part of me really wants to think he's using it as a marketing tool. It just screams of that from his prior antics, lady.
Oh, that's the scary part. I'm like, well, why would you even do this? Why would you play around like that? Now, I don't know. Do you think that the previous presidents actually saw the files? Like, they really know what's in it? Like, the names and everything? You think that?
I think some of them know who's, like, here's what I think. I don't think there's an actual list. Well, there may be a list. There's at least incriminating evidence out there. There's something out there. Otherwise, Maxwell would be dead. Like, let's call it for what it is. She would have been killed. I don't believe Epstein hung himself with a sheet. That stuff's not really happening. And I think, honestly, there's something that's at least evidence enough that protect her and give her some kind of leverage against other people. I also think, in terms of it, I think some of the events and some of the parties are much like a P. Diddy party. A lot of people that were there, they got oiled up, they saw who was around, and just like when P. Diddy went to trial, a lot of people out in P. Diddy's orbit and network got fucking nervous, and they continued to get nervous, and they acted nervous, and they weren't necessarily, clean cut. And they're like, oh my God, I did this. And they started running. They deleted their social media. They did all sorts of weird things. I think the same thing. A lot of people know who is there at certain parties. I mean, who's not going to remember? I'm going to be honest. Like, someone's going to remember having like some kind of orgy with Bill Clinton. I'm just saying there's going to be people there. You know what I mean?
There was a young lady today at a press conference saying that she went on a trip to Africa.
I didn't hear you, hon. What was that?
Sorry, I'm out in the field today. There was a lady at a press conference today saying that she went to Africa on a trip to Africa with Bill Clinton.
The lady, you mean one of the speakers? They're
Yes.
going to release. Yeah, they're going to release their list. Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to do it, and Massey and is filing a right to petition. So there's a couple things going on in terms of the Epstein file. It's just, with all the shit in the world, I'm with First Lady on this, wherever she went. She disappeared. I'm with her on this one. Like, it's not my big, like, it's an issue. I definitely would like the people prosecuted, but they're going to escape justice. Again, we don't hobnob with it, and we're asking the people who make the rules, who broke the rules, to somehow be accountable to the rules. Just doesn't seem to ever work out well for us. So I'm less than hopeful. So Epstein hasn't consumed me like it has others. But apparently there's going to be some headway. Marjorie Taylor Greene is taking up the fight, and she's got a vocal piece, and she'll be on every news network screaming about it. So my personal belief is that woman doesn't do anything without Donald Trump say so. I honestly believe Trump's using this as a marketing tool. That's where it comes down to. I don't think he's actually anything what the left is ascribing him to be and putting out in the narratives. I think he is quite basically playing bait and switch, and he's going to like reveal something, and he's going to be like, told you. Yeah, he flew to me. Yeah, I flew on his plane. He flew on mine a couple times, but nothing bad happened. Here are my witnesses. Here's the evidence. And oh, by the way, here's a list of all the people that were raping little kids. And he's going to just throw it out there, and it's all going to be Democrat and financiers, and it's going to be that shit show.
Brad, you're 100% correct, and I predict in probably 5 hours, maybe 24 hours, Adam Shifty Schiff and others will say, Donald Trump's administration violated a court order and released the files. They weren't supposed to release the files. This is breaking the law. And they'll say that. It's like, well, didn't you say you wanted the files released, and what was Trump hiding? And now that he released them to Congress, and Congress released them, now you're mad? Like, it's the most genius play because Congress released them, right? And DOJ just complied with what Congress asked. So, I think more will come out, and it'll be like, oh, shit. Because Dems probably thought, Trump can't release it because DOJ is courts and the judiciary is stopping them from releasing it. So, therefore, we can keep tying it to him, and we can win the midterms. And now Trump is like, hey, we're releasing it to Congress. They're going to release it. And they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, like, I've just seen Trump do stupid things like this. Like, well, it's not stupid because he's actually a genius. I've just seen him dangle like a lure in front of people, and people like bid on that really hard, and then he's marketed. Like, the motherfucker got shot and still had the wherewithal to put his fist in the air. I mean, you can't, like, that's going to be iconic. Literally, there's going to be a statue. I promise you this. There is going to be a statue someday of Donald Trump, or there's going to be a coin, or there's going to be something. And it's going to be Donald Trump with the Secret Service grabbing at him and him holding his fist in the air. And there is going to be something said, because that image was super powerful. It cemented his legacy for all time. This, again, like, the man is just, it just seems he does these things and he just lets them nibble. And then when they swallow the hook, he just like goes, let me show you how you got caught. And then he lays it out there. And he's done this too many times. I don't get it. Like, his immunity clause. No one would have thought he got that passed, but he did. So, what else you got?
Did you see the NBC? I think they met some of the victims, and they did this sit down. They said, the president of the United States, did you see his name mentioned in any inappropriate acts or anything? And they all said no. Did you see that video, Brad? And they all said no, we haven't. And like the host was shocked. She was like, I think it was today.
Yeah, and that's not the first time Trump has sat down with the deposition. So, I mean, I'm always confused by this shit, like, where people think, Trump is this one. And the left going out and screaming, oh, Trump is the pedo. You can't. You don't have it. You don't have the evidence. Just like people are saying, oh, he's a rapist. Okay, where's his conviction for rape? Oh, you mean the tale where he had to pay, and that's still going through all of its areas? Had to pay that woman for her 20-year late attack, where she made a story up about how he bought out an expensive market store in New York City in the middle of the week, told everybody to leave, and then somehow grabbed her, threw her in a changing booth, and forcefully entered her. And you'll have Democrat shows saying that this occurred and this is rape and proof positive. But magically, there's no cameras. The woman never reported, which, to be fair, women oftentimes do not report all incidents of sexual assault. But then this woman sits there and hides under a Democrat shill PAC person who's backing up anything anti-Trump, and gets her to pay for her entire lifestyle, pay for her lawsuit, then petitions the Democrats in New York State and City to change a law so that they could go after Trump and file this to extend it and not approve it for anybody else, and then retract the law. I have an issue with this. When we're just making up laws to target somebody, this just seems like theater. And it's not the first time Democrats did this. They did it with a Supreme Court pick. I think Trump just plays them, and then he's got to do a coup de grace soon, because, I mean, the Democrats are really swallowing this hook, and they're about to eat it. And I don't know why he's waiting so long to pull the trigger, but go ahead.
So, excuse me, please pause. Your title, Epstein Files, looking like a DNC journalist. What does that mean? Has any names on the side? I've been traveling and I'm out in the field today, so can you explain the title?
Yeah, so Epstein, the victims held the conference today. There was some movement. There's going to be 30,000 files released today, or 30,000 documents released today, or maybe yesterday they were dumped. And then Massey is going to petition for a right to pursue. Then you have and Marjorie Taylor Greene going through. And it looks like the list, or what people are calling out the names, it seems more like prominent Democrats, like Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, except for Donald Trump and Ellen Dershowitz. You got Copperfield, Jean-Luc Brunel, French modeling scout, Michael Jackson. These are all Democrat primary players. And then you have the list from the Gouffre lawsuit against Maxwell. And that listed out some prominent movers and shakers in that orbit. And let's not forget, Trump at that time was a Democrat. So, I mean, the only one that was really surprising to me was, Hawking. I'm still confused on that one, but even he was thrown into that list of names. So there seems to be a lot going on in terms of movements with the list, and I just wanted people's take on it, to offer me anything about the Epstein files they wanted to. Okay.
Got it. Thanks.
Now, we as a society...
Do you think any sitting members of Congress are going to be named in those? I think Nadler's on it.
Well, also you just have to look at Nadler was going to become under scrutiny, and then as a society and public is going to have to say what would be deemed okay to be associated with him or not, to include donations. Schumer received a lot of money from Pepsi, which I'm sure a lot of other sitting congressmen have as well. So are we going to then give the guilty by accepted donation that seem to be an issue, or not, so to speak?
Oh, come on up, Moose. I know you have something to say. Who's A Solomon? And S is back. Alyssa's back. Ludwig. Oh, Patricia's here too. It's all good. Everybody's coming out. This is about time.
Hello, Mr. Broad.
Hello. What do you think about all this?
I think, forgive my English first, but I think it is not blue or red case. It's the whole nation case. And it's related to JFK assassination and what comes out after this assassination. The whole United States of America came under a gang rule from the White House, take it independence, into a very, very, very bad passage. You are now just discussing the results of this. Say this of you can describe it at like a very long